If you want to learn when to ignore signs and synchronicities for your own good, keep watching. So you asked for a sign and you got it. Should you follow it? In this video, we're going to explore why signs and synchronicities are not necessarily always a good thing, and 3 ways to tell if following a sign is a mistake that's going to send you down the wrong path. Later on in the video, I'm going to share with you a really morbid sign that I received that I knew right away I needed to ignore immediately because of what I'll teach you in this video. Welcome to Coming Out Cosmic. I'm Christine, and on this channel, I gently guide you through strange things during your spiritual awakening so you feel less crazy. Usually, when you start noticing signs and synchronicities, you know that you're on the awakening path. So first off, what is a sign or synchronicity? I use these terms interchangeably. Usually I say sign because it's easier and quicker to say rather than synchronicity. A sign is usually a meaningful coincidence that feels personally significant. It's usually believed to be a message of some sort from the higher realms, from your higher self, which is essentially who or what guides you in this lifetime, from your past loved ones, from God, whatever you believe. Usually a sign is something that's enough of a coincidence that it catches your attention and makes you think, that was weird. I've been experiencing signs and synchronicities for years now, and I'm very conscious and aware of them. And I've learned that they're not always something you want to follow, even if you've asked for it. Before we get into the 3 ways to know that you should not follow a sign, here are 2 things you need to understand about signs and synchronicities first. 1, yes, they are real. The universe talks to us in signs and synchronicities. In fact, you finding this video may be a sign of some sort for you. There are signs around us all the time, but because most of us are unconscious, living our lives on autopilot, we don't notice them. 2, there is a difference between the universe sending you a sign and you creating the sign yourself. Let me say that again, and then I will explain. There is a difference between the universe sending you a sign and you creating or manifesting the sign yourself into your reality. The latter is the law of attraction, which facilitates manifestation. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to get more into this subject in future videos. But for the scope of this video, I'm going to keep it more simple. The law of attraction states that your thoughts become your reality. What you think about, you attract energetically. It's a universal law, just like the law of gravity. We can't see the law of gravity, but we know enough not to jump off of a building because we believe in it. It exists. It's there. We can't see the law of attraction, but it doesn't mean that it's not there. The law of attraction and the universe operate through energy, and energy flows where attention goes. So there is a difference between a true sign from the universe and one that we might create or manifest through our thoughts and our emotions. How can you tell the difference? How do you know if you should follow a sign because it was sent to you by the universe, or if you should ignore a sign because you created it through manifestation? Let's break this down through stories because I love a good woo-woo story. My sign for my aunt who passed away is a purple butterfly. What this means is that after my aunt passed, I said out loud, "Okay, Auntie Diane, anytime that you want to communicate something to me or anytime you want to call my attention to something or just tell me that you're here, please send me a purple butterfly." Now, I live in Buffalo, New York, and my aunt passed away in the winter, so there are no purple butterflies flying around during this time. So a cosmic tip for whenever you're working with signs is to be open to the interpretation of the sign. A purple butterfly can be on a little girl's shirt, maybe a lawn decoration, etc. I was open to receiving a purple butterfly in whatever format. The week of my wedding, I was having a really tough time because my aunt wasn't going to be there physically, so I said, "Auntie Diane, please send me a sign that you're with me on this beautiful day," and then I let it go. I made the request and then released any expectations. This openness lets signs surprise us in creative ways. A few hours later, my husband comes over to me with his phone open to Instagram and said, "Wow, look at my friend's new tattoo." I kid you not. This tattoo was the most beautiful purple butterfly tattoo I had ever seen. Now that is an example of a sign being sent to you. How did I know it was sent to me? I was not looking for it. Not even thinking about it. I made the request that she send me a sign and then I let it go. Once I received the sign, it took me by complete surprise because I was open to receiving it in whatever interpretation my aunt had. I didn't have any sort of expectation. I got the chills when I saw the sign. I just knew it was sent by her. There was an intuitive inner knowing. If you made it this far in the video, comment below the butterfly emoji so I know you're still with me, and consider subscribing because I have a lot more crazy stories about signs and just spiritual awakening that I think I can help you with. So a recap on how to know a sign was sent to you. You're not actively looking for it. Maybe you make a request for a sign, or maybe you don't make a request for a sign, but either way, you let expectations go. completely. You're not even thinking about it. Usually it takes you by surprise, and it comes to you in a form that you couldn't have even imagined. A photo of a purple butterfly tattoo on Instagram. Like, I couldn't have even come up with that. Your spirit guides and your loved ones love when you ask them for signs because it gives them a job to do and they get to be creative. They're watching you anyway, so ask them for a sign. Your gut tells you it was sent to you. That little voice in your head says, ah, that was sent to me. And you just know, and it feels good. The sign makes you feel good. Now let's get into the story of the morbid sign that I created that was not sent to me by the universe, so you can tell the difference of when to follow a sign and when to ignore it. One day I was taking a walk and I was just thinking about my death. Okay, I was pregnant at the time and I was thinking, like, what would happen if I died after the baby is born? Like, who would even come to my funeral? Would any of my exes come to my funeral? What would happen to my husband? I know it's quite a morbid thought, but honestly, pregnancy hormones are nothing to mess around with, and don't lie, you have definitely had this thought too. As I was walking, I was actually starting to feel sad. I was getting depressed thinking about how my husband would survive as a single dad. I was feeling really glum thinking about how the mortician would probably mess up my makeup and make my face look too chalky and orangey. Actually, is it called a mortician or is it called something else? I don't know. As I'm deep in thought, thinking about my death, I look up and I see a license plate that says "Time's Up." I begin laughing because I'm like, okay, I created the synchronicity. This was not sent to me, and this is why. I was continuously thinking about my death. Remember, our thoughts create our reality. Energy flows where attention goes. So of course, I was going to manifest something within my reality pertinent to death. Not only was I thinking about my death, I was feeling into it. I was getting upset. I was feeling sad. And if you study the law of attraction, you know that emotions is what energetically attracts what you're thinking into your reality. Emotions are energy in motion, amplifying what we're thinking. You guys know the song Emotions in Motion by Clever? I love that song. When we deeply feel into a scenario, it strengthens the likelihood of seeing something related to it in our reality. So not only by thinking, but by feeling into my death, I was attracting things pertinent to my death much more quickly into my reality. And also, I intuitively knew that I created the sign within my reality. It was a gut instinct. My initial reaction was to laugh, so trust your instinct. In summation, how do we know whether to trust a sign or to ignore it? How did I know that the purple butterfly was actually sent to me by my aunt? And how did I know that after seeing the license plate "Time's Up, I should laugh at it and not start writing my will? Follow and trust a sign if you ask for it and let it go. Don't think about it. Don't be on the lookout for it because you may manifest it. Whether you ask for it or not, it takes you by surprise. Your gut intuition, your first thought when you see the sign is, oh, this is for me. And it makes you feel good. Ignore a sign if you keep thinking about that sign and you're feeling emotions when you think about it, because whether or not you ask for the sign, you're going to create it within your reality based on the law of attraction. Your gut instinct or first reaction to the sign is anything but amazement and surprise. So now you know when to trust the sign or to ignore it for your own good. Signs and synchronicities can be powerful guidance in our lives, but sometimes our own thoughts and feelings can manifest things that are meant to be ignored. Trust your intuition, listen to that gut feeling, and don't be afraid to laugh off the signs that just don't feel right. Thank you for watching, and if this video helped you feel a little less crazy on your awakening journey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Share your own stories of signs in the comments below. I'd love to hear them, and as always, let's normalize crazy together. See you next time.